We are entering the 26th day of Elul, which we're really in the final countdown, 4 days to Rosh Hashanah, 27th, 8th, 9th. And there was so much more what I wanted to go through with these Elul classes. We can do Tshuva to Chanukah with a quantity, but we're done with the 4 remaining classes, so I have to choose what is the most powerful tools right now, 4 days before Rosh Hashanah. So when a country, an army is in war and they're about to lose, that's when they have to pull out the serious guns and the secret weapons. So I'm not saying we're losing the war, I'm just saying that we're 4 days into Rosh Hashanah. And I don't know about you, I didn't get any report from the heavens how my tshuva is doing. So when you sit with reports, at least you can say, okay, we're doing pretty good. I don't have any reports. So in my eyes, I'm not doing good. Because if I would think that I'm doing good, then I would be sitting now in Kofix having a cup of coffee. But nevertheless, so now it's 4 days before Rosh Hashanah, you have to pull the big guns to make sure that you are coming into Rosh Hashanah with as much as power as possible. Now, I don't remember if I mentioned that in the beginning of Elul, but the Arizal says that the month of Elul is called the month of Yamim Noraim, of to translate it, really what it means is the days that we have to arouse yirah, is that we have to arouse our fear. Why? Because this is an opportunity. It's kind of equivalent to Black Friday. Black Friday, I don't think it's from people not from North America, they know what Black Friday is. I once was in a lecture in the UK, I said Black Friday, everybody looked at me like, what's he talking about? But nevertheless, in America, now they actually adopted it here in Israel. I don't even know why Friday, why black, it doesn't matter, it's irrelevant, but it's a day when everything is 90% off. People literally kill other people to get that plasma TV or that new iPhone. But nevertheless, to take the idea of it, is that there's an opportunity that you can get something for a huge, huge discount. So that's Elul. We spoke about it so many times, no point of repeating. But what's really that real big coupon that Hashem is giving us during Elul? So the Arizal says 2 things. First of all, the gates of Tshuva are open. So it's like a Black Friday. Black Friday, everybody's standing next to the store, like a herd, and then they sleep there, and then they open the doors, and everybody's like going in to grab a box, and on the way killing a few people on the way, and sometimes literally. So the same thing, Arizal says the gates of Tshuva are open. Imagine 11 months the gates are closed, even though the gates of Tshuva technically can always be open, but here it's like wide open, just come in. And the second thing that the Arizal says is that our prayers are heard much better. And for that, I'm sure you're familiar with the famous turn, Ani ledodi vedodi li, I'm for my beloved for me. We went through all this already. And the king is in the field. What does it mean the king is in the field? It means the Kadosh Baruch Hu, a king usually sits in his chamber. To get an appointment with the king is almost impossible. Now the king is in the field, you can approach him and talk to him. The analogy I gave at the time is like when they have the political campaigns, the potential president is in the street, shaking everybody's hands, smiling to everybody, selfies. The second he gets elected, or even not elected, he doesn't know who you are. So same thing here, lehavdil, not to compare, but the Kadosh Baruch Hu now is in the field, is very easy access. What does it mean in simple words? It means that our prayers are being heard and answered much easier. Okay. For that, our sages explain, there's a verse in the book of Yeshayahu, chapter 55, verse 6, Dirshu Hashem be'imatz'o kiru b'yoto karov. Seek Hashem when He's easily can be found. This is what Yeshayahu says, and our sages explain. That's the time Kadosh Baruch Hu now can easily be found. Now go and talk to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Your prayers will be answered very quickly. Now all this is very, very good. because we want to come to Rosh Hashanah with as much as positive credit points on our side, whether it's our prayers, our mitzvot, and so forth. Because at the end of the day, we don't know how much junk we accumulated the last year, and it could be that we accumulated in the last 40 years a lot of junk and don't think it disappears, it rolls over. So we don't know where really we're holding. But nevertheless, and they're going to put everything on the scale in the heavenly court, see what you have on the right side and what you have on the left side, and then make decisions. Something as a side note, because I just explained it to somebody in the morning, and I think it's important to know, because somebody asked me, is it true that on Rosh Hashanah everything is decided, who's going to live, who's going to die, how many money you're going to make, who you're going to get married, not get married? I said, yeah, this is all correct. But I told him, but I have to add on that what really is decided on Rosh Hashanah, what you need to worry about, don't worry about if you're going to make money or not. If the Kadosh Baruch Hu decides to give you money, you'll make money. If Kadosh Baruch Hu wants you to get married, he'll make you a groom or a bride. Really what you need to worry about is what's decided on Rosh Hashanah is what are going to be your challenges for the next year and how hard they're going to be. Everybody has to get a sack of problems. I spoke about that so many times. So on Rosh Hashanah is going to be decided what's going to be your challenges. Is it going to be challenges with money? Is it going to be a challenge with a chas v'shalom lo aleinu, a disease? Maybe a challenge that's a loss of a loved one? Maybe the challenges is going to be lawsuits? I don't know what it is. Now, how difficult they'll be. Because it can be a challenge with money, but only 20,000. It can be also a challenge with 2 million. Ooh, there's a big difference between 22 to 2 million. So what is decided is what's going to be the challenge and how hard it's going to be. And how many of these challenges. You might have a year that's not so bad. Things are kind of calm this year. Nevertheless, this is one, as a side note, important to know. Now all this is very, very good, and we're praying during Elul, I hope you are, and we do tshuva, and we went through 26 days of things that we can add to the scale on the positive side and try to eliminate from the negative side as much as possible. But there's one thing that when I need to pull out the big guns, and I need to put some heavy weight on the scale, Rabbi Israel from Salant says something very, very interesting. And he says, it's very good that you do mitzvot, it's very good that you learn Torah, that you do tshuva and so forth. But when a person is involved and responsible for another person to do tshuva, or to learn Torah, or to become observant, or the word that he uses, osek bekiruv, that his business is to go to another person and bring him closer to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, Rabbi Israel from Salant said that even on Rosh Hashanah, if you don't deserve something, for whatever reason, what they look in your report, they'll still give it to you. And even more. Which means you come probably with 10% of your power is your mitzvot, your tshuva, your Torah. But if you are busy, or you are responsible, or you go out of your way to bring somebody else closer to the Torah and the mitzvot, what he calls kiruv, or in our generation it's called outreach, however you want to call it, also called kiruv. And again, I repeat it, then even if you don't deserve something, you're still going to get it, and you'll get a lot of everything. Now that's a pretty big, heavy weight to come to Rosh Hashanah when you're thinking about it. I don't know where I'm holding here. But if I come with my mitzvot, along with another 1,000 people's mitzvot, that's a heavy weight. People are doing mitzvot because of me. Now I said yesterday you can't take responsibility. If that was off the camera, by the way. We turned the camera off and we continue speaking. And I told you about the rabbi in America who told me, started pointing at people and telling them he puts tefillin because of me, he keeps Shabbat because of me, and I told him, he doesn't do it because of you. They do it because they want to do it, you just show them the way. You just represented the opportunity. But they choose it. The man has his own yetzer hara every day, to put tefillin, not to put tefillin. You just showed him the way. Nevertheless, if a person is, so to say, alive for the sake of another person, I'm talking about when it comes to Torah and mitzvot, not anything else, then the Kadosh Baruch Hu pushes everything aside and focuses on that. And the mashal, the parable that Rabbi Israel from Salant gives, it goes as follows. He says a person goes, he's very, very thirsty, he's very hungry, he is craving for a good cup of coffee, he goes to some restaurant that he finds, He sits down, they give him a menu, he tells them, first let me just order a cup of coffee before you look at the menu. They say, okay, no problem, one coffee coming up. He says, how much is the cup of coffee? $350. $350 for a cup of coffee? I can buy you a machine for $350. I'll go to the supermarket and buy a sack of beans. It's not going to cost $350. What are you out of your mind? So he says, okay, no. Give me also a piece of cake. How much is a piece of cake? $500. $500? What are you talking about? They tell him, listen, Habibi, you're not paying only for the cup of coffee. Look, what a fancy restaurant. Yeah, this is fancy cups. You see that woman over there playing on the piano? That's a famous musician. And this is a fancy restaurant. You pay. You don't pay only for the coffee. You pay for everything around you. He says, Toda Rabba, thank you so much. I'm going to go somewhere else. He goes out of the restaurant and he sees outside of all the waiters and the waitresses of the restaurant. He recognizes them because of the uniform. And they're having coffee and cake as much as they want with no limit. He comes and tells him, I don't understand. I just was told that the coffee is $350. The piece of cake is $500. How do you have so much money that you're just eating pieces of cake like this and left and right? If you're so rich, why are you working as a waiter? And if you're not rich, then how do you afford all this coffee and the cake? So the waitress and the waiters told him, we work for the owner of the restaurant and we serve his customers. So we get everything for free. So this is what Rabbi Israel from Salan says in this world. If I work for Hashem and I serve his customers, then I get everything for free. Same idea. So, on that note, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says in the Zohar, you can find that in Parashat Truma, and he says, Mi sheyesh lo chelek bekiruv, a person that has a partnership in the kiruv, the outreach, going to assisting other people when it comes to bring them back to Torah and mitzvot. He says, bekiruv rechokim, the ones that are far away, and to who? Mekarev otam la'aviem shebashamayim, he brings them back to the Father in heaven. It says, Gorem lehachnia et asitra acha. He has the power to overpower the sitra acha, the other side of holiness. So he's able to leachnia, to subdue the sitra acha. Not only that, Gorem sheyit'aleh shem Hashem. He causes the name of Hashem to be exalted and elevated in the worlds above. He says, Kol ha'olam mitkayem bizchuto. The entire world is sustaining in his merit. If chas v'shalom there's a din that the entire world has to be destroyed, and comes Avraham Avinu and says, whoa, wait a minute, this guy, he does kiruv. He brings souls, Jews, back to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, Hashem says, okay, I leave the world. More than that, he says, Zoche lirot banim. He has the merit to see generations and generations of boys, kids, grandkids that are schema Torah, that go in the path of the Torah. Zoche le'ashirut. Merits to be wealthy, and the real wealth is in the spiritual world. Vezoche le'olam haba, and he is welcome into olam haba. This is what the Zohar says about a person that goes out of his way to make sure that other people come back to the Torah. And the Zohar says, Al zeh ne'emar, that's where David HaMelech says in Tehillim. This is Tehillim Kuf Yud Bet. I'll read the verses, I'll translate them. Gibor ba'aretz yeh, Zar'o dor yesharim mevorach. He's going to be, his seed will be mighty in the land, a generation of upright ones which shall be blessed. The next verse, Hon ve'osher beveito, wealth and riches will be in his house. Ve'tzidkato omedet la'ad, and his righteousness endures forever. Third verse, Zarach b'choshech or le'isharim. He shone a light in the darkness. This is what David HaMelech says in Book of Tehillim, chapter 112, verse 2, 3, and 4. And the Zohar says that's what David HaMelech is talking about. So to make a long story short, when I'm coming now to Rosh Hashanah, I need to come with as much power as possible. Because sometimes I can be a very nice Jew and a very good Jew, do one sin, and that will take the scale all the way down. One sin. Doesn't care how much mitzvot you do. It will still pull the scale on the negative side down. So when a person is smart and he's approaching Rosh Hashanah, he needs to pull out the big guns, then the person needs to come with a lot of zchuyot, a lot of merits of many, many other people. You know, Baruch Hashem, I always have my kids involved in many, many different things. So I let them do a lot of things. You see on Shabbat how they always help and the meals and everything. So my daughter, I give her different tasks to do. We post every day when a video comes out, goes on YouTube, goes on Facebook, goes on many different platforms. One of the platforms it goes on, it's SoundCloud. Yes, you can listen to it, it's audio. So that's her job. She loads 3-4 audios to SoundCloud every day. Today I told her something and she told me, "Who, are you kidding me? You know how many thousands of people listen to Torah because of me?" And I was like, you're right. She's 14 years old and she answers me back, "You know how many people listen to Torah? How many thousands of people listen to Torah because of me?" And I told her, "You are 100% right." So the point to take from that is that everybody, and now especially, that a person has to have some type of a connection, if they don't do it themselves, that thousands of people are depending on their own Torah because of that person. You know, we spread every month. You might not see it. You see a few CDs there in the entrance. We have a network around the world, and we print between 10 to 20,000 CDs every month, and they're all spread all around the world. And who do you think spreads them? People. They get shipments of CDs, and they go and they put them in shuls, in coffee shops, in mikveh, whatever it is, they give them out. You know, you brought from Yerushalayim, where last time before I left, how much you brought? 18,000 CDs. David especially, I told him, I don't think David understood what he really did there. We were stuck. The CDs, we ship them we get them from Yerushalayim. We were stuck. I was going to the airport. You remember the whole table was full of CDs, and I said, "How am I going to get them now?" We weren't able to get a messenger. Anyways, I knew David is in Yerushalayim. I called him, "Can you bring the CDs?" So he brought boxes of CDs, made a trip all the way here. And I told David, "You understand? Take now these 18,000 CDs. On average, each CD has about 30 hours of Torah on it. Times that, that's already how many hours of Torah? Do 18,000 quickly times 30, that's how many hours of Torah. Times that times 60, that's how many minutes of Torah. Some people listen to the CD 100 times. You're talking about millions and millions of minutes of Torah that are being played because somebody jumped into a car and schlepped whatever amount of boxes. Yeah, that's how it works. You know, I have a guy, he's the minister of the YouTube channel. He sends me reports all the time. Now especially we need a report. Just in the last 28 days, 180,000 views on videos that were posted on our channel. About 8 million minutes of Torah were played. Imagine 8 million minutes of Torah that were heard. This is just one platform, just YouTube. What about Facebook and iTunes and SoundCloud and CDs? And you're talking about millions and millions and hours of Torah because some other people worry about. Now, not everybody can sit in front of a crowd and strengthen them and cause them to make mitzvot. Not everybody has the way to talk to another person in the street and pull him into the Torah. But there are many smart people. You know how many people run our show? Just the distribution of our CDs. There's one guy, I should be very careful with what I'm saying, very good chance he's watching the video. There's one guy, doesn't matter where, who and what, that ships all the CDs. He stores the CDs in his business or in his house. Every order that we get in our system, he ships them. We're talking about thousands of dollars every month of shipping CDs. Same idea. The guy is walking into Rosh Hashanah, talking here about with millions of mitzvot, millions. That if his mitzvot are lightweight, what about the tens of thousands of people that are benefiting because I did something? This is really what it means to do kiruv, to do outreach, to go to another person and to be involved. And because of my hard work, that I care about another person's spiritual well-being, then that's how many people depend on you. So now that we have to put some heavy weights on the table, before Rosh Hashanah is you have to ask yourself, I would try to worry about myself as much as I can. But how much am I worried about other people? How much am I involved that another person can be closer to the Torah? So it can be done. People support with money. People support with their time, with their car, with their knowledge, with their legs, with their whatever it is. But, and you know how many people around the world they're involved in one way or another. You know, I mean, the CDs, I'm talking just, that's the CDs. Now it's going lower and lower because it's becoming more digital, and now very soon we're going to have an app. So I believe most of the CDs, it will drop a lot. Nevertheless, now we started doing, instead of CDs, the USB, so it doesn't matter. But you're talking about tens of thousands of, and now I looked at all the reports, because usually before Rosh Hashanah we do our annual fundraiser. So I need reports, where are we holding, what cost, how much, everything. So you're talking here about 120,000 CDs that were distributed in the last few months. You know how much? Just to make a quick calculation, we pay about 45 cents a CD. That's it. Make a quick calculation. Where is the amount? Some people donate once a month $10. $10. So they have whatever, 30, 40 CDs on their record a month. If, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I didn't want to, we were doing all the outreach that we're doing now, and of course in a lower scale. And I had the CDs and the DVDs of my personal story. And I used to run the show by myself. I didn't want donation. I didn't ask people to donate anything. I had a business and I supported the whole thing by myself. And I had a class once a week somewhere in New York where I lived, but in a very, very upscale neighborhood. Every week it was hosted in somebody else's house. You can ask Rivka, she used to come with me as a little girl. Some of the old videos that you'll find online, you'll see a hand sometimes in the video. That's Rivka. She used to come with me and write notes. She used to come because she liked all the houses. Every house was like a palace. There was always like a lot of treats, candies. But nevertheless, some of the videos you actually see her face a little bit. Nevertheless, so there's a very upscale neighborhood, and there was maybe 30 men learning in that class. One time, maybe after 3 years of giving this class, I got some courage, and I told them, listen, you all know me already for 3 years. You see I come here every Wednesday to teach. I never ask for money. It's not about money. It's not about anything. It's about learning Torah. But listen, I have a request from you all. You see, these are the DVDs and the CDs that we're giving of my personal story. Listen, it costs me about 99 cents per CD to print it. And I don't have much money, so I print 500 CDs. I print 600 CDs, 800. But if I print over 10,000 CDs, it will go down to 70 cents a CD. And if I'll print 25,000 CDs, we'll go to 60 cents a CD. And if I print this amount, if I print the largest amount, which was at the time, whatever it was, I don't remember, was like 49 cents a CD. I told them I'm getting it for half the price. Besides the fact that we can spread them all around the world, I came and told them how many thousands of people, how many emails I'm getting from people changed their life because they heard the story and so forth. Okay, what's the bottom line? Listen, I want to order a lot of CDs. We need money. Okay, one guy pulled out $500. Another guy pulled out $700. Another guy wrote a check, whatever. Then, Baruch Hashem, the guy who was known to be the real heavyweighter, like a real wealthy guy, told him, you want to participate? He's like, I don't support this junk. I told him, okay, no problem, So he told me, I donate to this yeshiva, I donate to that yeshiva, I donate here. I told him, no, that's totally fine. And he started challenging me. And I told him, listen, because he was telling me this is nonsense, it goes to the garbage, nobody listens to it. I told him, listen, let me explain to you something. Let's say you give me now $100, and I'll buy now 100 CDs, right? We're going to go to the streets, start giving them out. Let's say 99 of them went to the garbage. Let's say that one of them ended up in the CD player. And the person who listened to it happened to be that on that day decided to put tefillin on. So you bought the mitzvah of a Jew putting tefillin for $100. You know how much that's worth in the world above? If I would have to relate it with money, I would tell you $500 billion. But there's no even value to that. Now what if that man put twice tefillin? What if that man decided to become observant, and a year later he was Shomer Shabbat and eating kosher? And can you fathom what you did here? Now what if two people heard the CD? 98 went to the garbage, and one 2 CDs were played. What if a person decided today not to kill himself? Or a person decided today to stop lying? Or whatever it is. You understand? Okay, so yeah, 99, let's say 99 went to the garbage, but 1. Anyways, I gave him my spiel, and that night he gave me $5,000, and he told me, whenever you want to print CDs, you come to me. So he gets from me, he doesn't need to even to get from me a phone call. Every month he pays a huge chunk for the CDs. I mean, the CDs cost a lot of money, and I know that some of them may go to the garbage. Now we're much more smarter how we're distributing it. But nevertheless, the power of it, I have archives of emails of people telling me, there's a woman, I'm sorry I'm taking more of your time. There's a woman who emailed me a while ago. She told me, you don't know me. And she's like, I recently heard your CD about my personal story. And she told me for a whole year the CD was on a shelf because somebody pushed it to me. And I was like, yeah, I don't believe in this stuff. And she told me a year later, for whatever reason, she decided to play it. And she tells me now it's about a year later, and she sends me a picture, and I see a woman with a head covering, kids with peot. My kids are in Talmud Torah, Shomer Shabbat, eating kosher. And then she actually organized an event for me in Yerushalayim, and I went to give a lecture, and I see this God-fearing woman, and she's like looking at me like, and she tells me, I know that it was my effort, but you did the spark. And I told her, you know who did the spark? Is the person who gave you forcefully the CD. He or she ignited the spark. But just imagine in the eyes of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, you are the one who brings the neshama close to Hashem. The power, now imagine that in a scale of 10,000 or 100,000 or thousands and thousands and thousands of mitzvot. I told you, when I became observant, I was shaking of fear for 2 years of what's going to happen when I get up there for the final time. And I was like not only afraid of all the junk that I did, I was afraid of the junk that I didn't do. I made calculations. I was very good with calculating. I calculated how many times I didn't put tefillin on. It was very easy. Go from the bar mitzvah till the age I was then around almost 27, minus Shabbat, minus the festivals. I knew exactly how many times I didn't put tefillin on. Came to an amount of 4,000 and something times that I didn't put tefillin on, that I was mevatel, that I did not do a positive mitzvah. How do you pay this back? How do you do tshuva for that? You say sorry is not going to help. You didn't put tefillin on for 4,000 times. How do you pay it back? You go to the street with a pair of tefillin. Did you put tefillin on today? Did you put tefillin on today? How about you? You want to put tefillin on today? You start paying it back. Now, I don't know how many times, if my time is worth 10 times that other people, I don't know. But you put tefillin on, and you help buy this person buy tefillin, and this person buy tefillin. But you gain an army of mitzvot. And this is the whole point, that when you really need to put some heavy weight on the table, to come to the Kadosh Baruch Hu and say, listen, I'm nothing, I'm an obed, I don't know, I'm probably not worth much. But I am taking out of my time to the well-being of other people. And we spoke about it yesterday in the class, and we then turned the video off and we spoke about it another half an hour. What does it mean that I take of my time, my money, my comfort zone, my pay, everything, for the sake of another person, but not for the other person to eat? Because a lot of people say, listen, I feed a lot of people. That's very nice of you. I worry about other things. That's very nice. Now somebody came to us, and my wife just bought today this unbelievable, organic, real amazing honey. And on the holidays we always give food or vouchers. So I told my wife, buy 100 jars. Let's give honey for the holiday. But this is real, good, raw, organic honey. So we'll get it next week. Well, no, I think maybe tomorrow, the next day. So we want to give them out. Because that's already this is not just food. This is already involved in a mitzvah, but this is real good, not the junk you buy in a supermarket. The point is that you can do many acts of kindness, but when you bring a soul to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and that person is a little bit more aware of the Torah and mitzvot, they're more aware of their behavior, what is allowed, what is not allowed to the Torah. Can you imagine the price of you bringing back the neshama to the Kadosh Baruch Hu? There's no price for that, there's no value for that. And needless to say that on Rosh Hashanah, when you need to come in front of the Kadosh Baruch Hu with something, then at least I'm coming now with the wagons of mitzvot of other people. It's So instead of me, I don't know, sleeping in or caring about myself or watching a movie, then I go and I make sure that another person is closer to the Torah. And I know hundreds of people, I know them personally because they're helping us, that are involved in that. And many people, they support either with their money or with their time, or people go and giving out CDs or pamphlets or whatever. Every time I go on tours, there's people, how many people help us with advertising. There's one guy in New York that every time that I come to a tour, we print all the posters. The guy walks for hours and hangs them everywhere. All the convenience stores, the kosher convenience stores, in the synagogues, in the mikvahs, he just hangs them. And I always tell him, every person that comes to that lecture, and every person that will watch this lecture, and every person that later on will get a CD of this lecture, you hung the poster. And I know it might sound like something, whatever, he hung a poster. No, don't just brush off, he hung a poster. So to make a long story short, 4 days before Rosh Hashanah, you need to think, how am I buying myself some mitzvot before Rosh Hashanah comes? What can I do in the last 4 days? Now, and maybe now you don't have much 4 days, but things can be done, of course, retroactively. So I highly recommend, in any opportunity you have to support, to be involved, to help, to do, in not necessarily acts of kindness, that's very good, but specifically targeted, that another person becomes observant because of that. You know, one time somebody came to me and he told me that he never had kids. Shem Erachem, whatever, never had kids. He's married, then both can have kids, and he told me, who am I, you want to have kids, the kid to say Kaddish on you, to continue the heritage. Besides, it says, the Talmud says, the boy gives merit to the father. Ba'am is the Abba. The boy now does mitzvot, he pushes the souls of the parents above. So he says, I don't have kids. So I told him, in your case, you have nothing to worry about. You have thousands of spiritual kids. You help in Kiruv, in outreach. He's a big supporter. I told him you have thousands of spiritual kids. That you, in your responsibility, they're close to the Torah. Don't worry, you have many on your plate. So it's something to take to consideration very, very much before, not only before Rosh Hashanah, but all the time, how much you are involved in the spiritual well-being of another person. And of course here the quantity does count, but also the quality, even if it's one person. I told you already, the Talmud says, Kol hamatzil nefesh achat mi-Yisrael, you save one soul from the nation of Israel, kilu hotzil et ha'olam kulo, like you saved the entire world. So 4 days before Rosh Hashanah, move the wheels in your head. Okay, what am I doing? You know how many people after the meals on Shabbat stay to help? Some of them understand what they're doing. Some of them don't understand. Some people, I tell them, can you stay and help and organize here after Shabbat? Instead of me and my wife staying here till 12 o'clock at night. And some people do it. This is also why, because another person is able to sit here the next day and learn. Or sit here the next day and eat. Or whatever it is. So yeah, it's very easy to run right after and let me go home. And not that I'm trying to put anybody on the spot. But it's very easy to... But when you stand, you're saying, no, how can I be of an assistance to other? And on the same note, how many people help organize the place here before a meal? And again, I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot. Some people sit, and some people go around, starting putting tables on the plates on the tables, they're pushing things around. Yeah, why? This is Zikuy Rabim. This is that because of my effort, somebody else benefits. This is huge. Don't discount it. If the Kadosh Baruch Hu, if you would see the value in the eyes of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, then you would run after this all day long. The Zohar says if a person would know the ma'ala, the power of Kiruv, he would run in the streets like a maniac, making people do tshuva. If a person would know really what's the ma'ala of outreach. So we should understand what it means, not only before Rosh Hashanah, but throughout the entire year. But especially before Rosh Hashanah, I need to bring some heavy weights to put on the scale. Then I gave you now a very good solution. And Bezrat Hashem, not only that you'll merit to have a good and a sweet, healthy, prosperous year, but you also are involved in making other people closer to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's even huge. Don't think of yourself. Think of the opportunity of pulling somebody out of the klippah. Bezrat Hashem, not only that you're going to merit to get a good, healthy This is a successful year, but this is, with no doubt, what will hasten the redemption is another person keeps Shabbat, another person eats kosher, another person stops lying. This is hastening the Geulah in a way that I can guarantee to you that Mashiach is going to come and shake your hand, tell you, thank you. If you're a woman, he's not going to shake your hand, but he'll, for sure, will tell you thank you for all the hard work that you did. Now, of course, many can say, now you're telling me that? 4 days before Rosh Hashanah, now you remember to tell me that if I want to come to Rosh Hashanah with a lot of weight on my scale, that I have to do outreach, kiruv, get people who are far away from the Torah closer to Hashem. Now you're telling me that? What am I going to do now in 4 days? What do I have left? I have left now, tomorrow is Thursday, then I have a Shabbat, and then it's already Rosh Hashanah. You should have told me that a month ago. What good is it now when you're telling it to me now? So first of all, and most important, is that even if somebody takes on himself, him or her, that I'm going to start doing the outreach, I'm going to start doing the kiruv, and you come into Rosh Hashanah already with the decision, I'm going to start, then you already have your foot in. That's already a big thing. So I can give you one example out of many. Listen. We have many people from all around the world that we ship them CDs on a monthly basis, every 2 months, every few weeks, depending how fast they distribute the CDs. And they go and they give out the CDs, they hand it over in lectures, they hand it over in the street, or they put it out in kosher supermarkets, or whatever it is. So CDs you're not going to be able to distribute in the next 2 days. But you can make an order today. When we send the CDs for free, you don't have to pay for anything. You can make the order today. We'll ship you 100 CDs, 200 CDs, whatever you want. You already have the CDs on your way. You already made the effort. You already made the change. I'm starting. So that's first of all. And most important, even though it's not as powerful as actually doing, because any person can say, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then tomorrow, all the air is out of the balloon. And then you don't do anything. I can tell you already that I know many that they ordered CDs from us. We shipped them out CDs, and the CDs were sitting on their desk for 2 or 3 months. No, did you distribute anything? Oh no, I'm busy. So why did you ask us to ship you CDs? So I can tell you already, some of our distributors are they do sometimes 500, 1,000, 1,500 a month, and we always are very particular. Don't just go and throw them everywhere you want. One time there was one guy who he said, I want to be one of your distributors in South Florida. There's a lot of Jews there. Okay, how many CDs do you want? Send me 1,000 CDs. 1,000 CDs? Ooh, probably going to do it from morning to night. A few weeks later, he calls again, okay, send me another 1,000. How did you able to distribute 1,000 CDs like that? Anyways, what did we find out? That he went to this restaurant, he put there 30. Went to that restaurant, put there 30. Went to this restaurant, put 30. Oh, what are you talking about? Sometimes the restaurant owners, they throw the CDs, and when there's too many CDs, he just went in every place that he went, he did it in one day. Here he put 50 CDs, here he put 50 CDs. I mean, it sounds easy, but that's not the way to do it. Anyways, this is not a class about how to distribute CDs, but the point is that I know many people that they asked for CDs, we shipped it to them, and they didn't do nothing. So no doubt that the action is more important. But nevertheless, you can take on yourself saying, I'm going to start doing kiruv, and B'ezrat Hashem next week. So that's already, you have your foot in, and that's almost as powerful. Now, by the way, it's not only the CDs. This is one thing that we do that requires people to help, and many people do help. It's not only CDs. It's like I told you, the guy who, when I come to tours in New York, then he hands posters, and there's many other things. I don't want to get into the details right now. It's not the class. I can already tell you that we can offer you the opportunity to participate. You know how many people call us and say, I want to participate in your outreach organization. How can I participate? You know that one time a lady called me, and she was telling me all sorts of things she did in the past. She was asking me how to do tshuva. Anyways, long story short, I told her, do this, do that. And I told her, the most important thing you need to do is do outreach, do kiruv. She was like, how am I going to do kiruv? I mean, I don't have the means, I don't have the way. I mean, how can I do kiruv? So I told her, you know what you need to do? Find in the area where you live somebody that hosts very big Shabbat meals. They do a big achnasat orchim. And I told her, go and help them cook the meal. Peel the potatoes, peel the cucumbers, chop the carrots, whatever you need to do. That's called zikui harabim. That your effort, many merit from that. And I told her, yeah, it might sound to you like a simple thing to peel potatoes. But many people who eat from that Shabbat meal, they say Birkat HaMazon, they say a blessing, they fulfill themselves, they do a mitzvah of eating a meal on Shabbat, and you participate in that. You don't have to be a chief rabbi of the world to do outreach. You can do it sometimes with peeling potatoes. You know, we host here huge Shabbat meals. Who do you think cooks it? Do you think we cater that? My wife cooks all the meals, but she has 12, 15 women that help her. Some women come for 2 hours, women come for 10 hours. Yeah, they sit there and they peel in our kitchen, they peel, they cut, they chop, they stir, they schmear. Yeah, and they all have a huge merit. Why? Because 100 people sit here in a Shabbat meal and they eat and they enjoy it. They say a blessing to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So your outreach can be in many different ways. You want ideas for outreach? Come to me after the class. Or for the viewers, contact us. I'll tell you a million ways how to do outreach. Well, not a million, but a lot. And I can tell you already that many smart people, they contact us and say, I want to be involved in your organization. I want to be involved in your outreach. And we delegate. You'll do this, you'll do that. And you know that we have people online that they just go like that. They just share videos. They just like a video. They just comment on a video. That's all it takes. Anyways you are on Facebook, anyways you are on YouTube, so share the videos. You know, when I look at the statistics of the social media and all that, I mean, we have a administrator for the YouTube, administrators for the Facebook, whatever, all these platforms. But I look at the statistics, what's going on, what can we do better, how can we have a greater reach. And you know, the YouTube, for example, or Facebook, whatever it is, they show you statistics, how many times the video was played. Well, that everybody sees, it sees the views, but how many times the videos was liked. Okay, so you see that thumbs up. But it also shows you how many times the video was shared, and by who it was shared. And you see that sometimes people, they say, listen, I don't know how to teach Torah, I don't know how to do anything, I don't have money. Go like that. Start sharing videos. You have a Facebook account, anyways you're on Facebook all day long. So take the videos and share them, put them in different groups. That's also outreach, because of you, somebody will get to see the video. To make a long story short, there are many, many ways how one can participate in the outreach effort. So first of all, most important, for the ones who are saying, now you're telling me about all this, so you can take on yourself, you know what, I'm going to start. I'm going to dedicate half an hour a day for outreach, 10 minutes a day, 1 hour a week, whatever it is. Now that's one way of many, but for the ones who are saying, I need it urgently, before Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Hashanah is in 4 days, what can I do? Then we have another way to help you. Every year, we do, right around this time, our annual fundraiser. And a lot of times people see, you know, what we do, and they're like, okay, how much money does this organization require? Okay, a few CDs. You know that sometimes we spend, I told you now the CDs we're growing, but they're a little bit going down because we do a lot of USBs, and now there's a lot of people, they're just watching the videos on YouTube. Now we're developing an app. It's going to be ready very soon. I know that will also drop a lot of these CDs. But nevertheless, in previous years, you're talking, you know, the 1 year we spent over $120,000 just on CDs. $120,000 just on CDs. And of course, the more money we get, the more money we spend. So once a year, we do our annual fundraiser. And the fundraiser is for the entire Atzmut organization. And I know many people don't even know what Atzmut does. They think we just do videos online. So in the outreach department, and we have the videos, all the social media, the CDs, lectures, and many other things. And that costs a lot of money, by the way. You know, there's a dedicated editor that sits and edits videos. And he doesn't only edit them to put them on YouTube, he edits them to put them on Facebook, and then puts the audio to put it on iTunes and SoundCloud, and chop them off to put it on WhatsApp, and it's a full-time job. It's a man that sits and gets a full-time job. He runs the YouTube channel. He has a salary. So this costs a lot of money. All these things, we just bought equipment now. $10,000 of equipment, cameras, microphones, video editing system. Everything costs a lot of money. So Atzmut does, first of all, the outreach. Then we do many, many other things. We have a fund that we help brides and grooms. It's called Hachnasat Kala. Okay, it's not money that comes to us, but we collect the money and we help. Any couples depend on that? A lot. And it's not only that. We feed here every Shabbat, hundreds of people. You see here, you come here to the meals. You know how much every meal like this costs? An average meal that we prepare for Shabbat, it's anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000. You're talking about Friday night meal, Saturday, and Seudah Shlishi, third meal. And you see what's going on here. Wine and everything is for the best of the best. That costs a lot of money. And these meals are for free. And then a food bank and many other things. Trust me, there are many other things. I suggest if you're interested, go on the website, see what we do. So once a year we do our annual fundraiser. And there are smart people that say, I can't do outreach, but you do outreach. And I can support you. Now when you join me, my organization, you are a partner. There's a famous partnership in the Torah with Issachar and Zvulun. Issachar was the two tribes. Issachar was the ones who sit and learn Torah. Zvulun would go out to do business and they would share. 50% of the money goes from Zvulun to Issachar and 50% of the Torah goes to Zvulun. This is a partnership. That I can't do anything that I do without the support of our thousands of supporters. Some people support with $18 a month. Some people support with $100 a year. Some people support with much more. Support with what you can. In Hebrew there's a saying, it says, "Mitipa litipa niyeh shlulit." From one drop after another drop, you get a puddle. So yeah, some people have the means, they support a lot. Some people have less means, but they are dedicated. $10 a month, $18 a month, $30 a month. It adds up. And you know what? Nothing can be done here without the support. Now we're getting another Sefer Torah for our synagogue, for the yeshiva. Sefer Torah, it's a Sefer Torah. $35,000, that's the Sefer Torah that we do. We're 70% in the amount that we need. So when you're asking yourself, now you're telling me that? Yeah, even a minute before Rosh Hashanah. All you need to do is to go to our website and pledge a donation, and you donate to our efforts. Even retroactively it will cover, because a lot of the stuff that we do goes on credit. A lot of the times, many times I order CDs, I don't pay it up front, I don't have the money. I go to fundraise. And then the guy works with us. So here I give him 5,000, here I give him 6,000, whatever it is. It all depends on how much money comes in. A lot of the efforts that we do, it all depends on how much money comes in. We have a kollel, and a yeshiva, and a women's seminary, and the list goes on. But nevertheless, the bottom line is that it's all under the umbrella of outreach, of kiruv, of giving to others and saving these souls. So even 4 days before Rosh Hashanah, and you're saying, now you're telling me? Don't worry. Go to the website. It's www.atzmut.org/support. That's it. You'll see a beautiful page with all whatever they put there, their webmaster, the information that you need to know. Pledge a donation. By that you become our partner. You become a full partner. Because it's like this Zvulun Issachar. I can't do what I'm doing without the support. You think I can distribute thousands of CDs? What am I going to do? Stand in the street? I don't have time to stand in the street. So there are dozens of people in Miami and Florida and New York and Sydney, Australia and Cape Town in South Africa and in London and in Rio de Janeiro, Toronto. We have in the entire world we have distributors. So, nevertheless, I can't do that. It means everybody's involved. We're doing it as one unit. So again, you're asking, what can you do 4 days before Rosh Hashanah? Go and join the fundraisers. Pledge your support. Become a partner. You're going to come to Rosh Hashanah with a bucket full of mitzvot. Wagons of mitzvot. Why? Because you participate. You say, Hashem, I can't do it myself, but I support the organization that does. So I can tell you already, listen, this is one of the most powerful things to come into Rosh Hashanah. It's the power of outreach. The power that you go out of your way instead of you buying yourself a good dinner, a good meal that will cost you $100, $150, $200. Not too long ago, I was somewhere talking to a restaurant owner, and he was helping us to fundraise. And he told me, listen, I know how much these people spend on a meal. They spend on a meal $200, $250, $300. I know. So go one less time to a restaurant and donate, support. Do it on a monthly basis, a recurring basis, even if it's not a lot. Even if it's not a lot. You know how many people donate to our organization $18 and they tell me or they think, what's $18? $18 is a lot of money. Because if you do it every month, it's over $200 a year. You know how many CDs you can give for $200? You know how many food you can distribute? Besides that, it's the power of many. So do yourself a favor and join all the effort that we do. I can guarantee to you, you are going to quadruple, if not much more than that, the amount of power you're coming into Rosh Hashanah and saying to Hashem, listen, I know I'm not 100%, but look, I care about others and I go out of my way, out of my comfort zone. Yeah, it will cost me money, it will take my time. I know many people that we asked them on Friday afternoon, can you come and help us prepare the meal? I need to go and rest before Shabbat. Okay, so go and rest. But don't complain. And then we have the ones who are sitting, like I told you, and peeling and cutting and chopping. It's all in your hands. So, to conclude, we don't have much time before Rosh Hashanah. Gather as much as mitzvot as you can, as much as merits as you can. And one mitzvah that you do is great. But if you can make 1,000 people do mitzvot, then you have partnership in 1,000 people. You know, there's one guy, he's been following me, I think, from day one. His thing, everybody has their thing. Some people, they support the CDs. Some people, they support the Torah classes. Some people support food. Everybody. I have one guy, he tells me, don't ask me for money for anything, just food. He's in the restaurant business. He knows what it is to feed people. He came once here. He was here once for a Shabbat. He saw what's going on here in the meals. He told me, I want to support this, what you're doing here, just for food. So everybody has their thing. Like I told you, one does food, one does CDs. So there's one guy, he follows me, I think, from day one. He likes buying tefillin. Every time that I need to help somebody to buy a pair of tefillin, in the last month we had helped 3 men to buy tefillin. Now I always tell them, listen, you have to buy some of the tefillin, has to be your money. So it's yours, you can't get 100%. But just in the last month we had helped 3 people to buy tefillin. Tefillin is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to buy a pair of tefillin, a good pair of tefillin. This guy tells me any time somebody needs to buy tefillin, call me. Okay, so he gives one time 200, 300, one time he gives 500, whatever it is. But he's smart because he says these tefillin are going to be at work for the rest of that person's life. Thousands of times that person is going to wrap his tefillin. I have partnership in that. I told him, you're right, you are a genius. I think just through me, he maybe helped 40 or 50 people buy tefillin. You're talking about 50 men that are putting tefillin every day. He has a cut. What do you think about that? I'll tell you one more thing and we're done. I know I took a lot of your time. But listen, this is life or death. This is your eternity. About maybe 6 years ago, I don't remember, around 6 years ago, I used to have this old camera with these cassettes, and to edit the videos was a headache, and to download it to the computer, and anyways, the videos, if it would cut in the middle of the cassette, it would cut the video. Anyway, I had a lot of problems with that. And at some point I was like, you know what, I need to invest. I need to get a good camera so I can get good quality on a memory card into the computer, chick-chack, edit the video, up on YouTube. Okay, I didn't have money. So my wife told me, listen, you have a lot of followers on Facebook. Put a post on Facebook. I put a post on Facebook. If anybody wants to participate, I want to buy a new camera, a video camera that will assist me to do the video, the Torah classes. I give Torah classes on a daily basis. We can record the Torah classes and they'll go online, etc., etc. If anybody wants to participate, please contact me. Okay. Maybe 20 minutes later, somebody emails me and he tells me, how much is the camera you want to buy? I told him, to be honest with you, I didn't even look. I literally just thought of the idea and I put the post. So he tells me, okay, find out how much the camera costs. I want to help. Okay. I go on B&H. B&H is a very big camera equipment and in New York. I go on their website, check, I look, I find a good camera. I read the reviews, I knew more or less what I needed. Okay, I emailed the person back. I told them, listen, the camera is about, I think at the time it was, don't take my word, but maybe 1800, 1600, I don't remember. But bottom line, I needed a camera. We needed the microphone, the wireless microphone, you know, this thing here. We needed the tripod, a bag. We needed all, you know, whatever the kit was. I think anyways at that time, I think it came to somewhere around $3,500. And when I told the person, listen, I found this, I found that, and the person was persistent, no, let's get a good camera, you need good audio. Long story short, I think it was about $3,500. Don't you know, go on the dollar here, but nevertheless, the second that I told this man, I don't even know who it is. The second I told him what I want to buy, I'm not exaggerating, it took about a minute, and my PayPal, ding ding, you know, you get a money in the PayPal, it emails you, and I look, and the guy gave the whole amount. It was like maybe 2 in the morning, I go and wake up my wife, I told her, you're not going to believe this. Somebody just donated money to buy the entire camera. The next day, I made the order online. 2-3 days later, I got a whole camera. A professional, digital, HD camera with all the equipment, memory cards, the whole thing. I didn't have anything. With a bag, nice bag. I couldn't believe it. One person bought the whole thing. Now, do you know how many millions of views, not millions of minutes, millions of views this camera produced? I think now on my YouTube channel, we're holding somewhere around 8 million views, just the YouTube channel. Add on that another 5-6 million from Facebook and all the other platforms. You know how many millions of views that camera produced? We only recently changed the equipment. Now, if it made millions of views, you're talking here about hundreds of millions of Torah, of minutes of Torah. One person. Can you imagine the investment he did? He was a young guy. He was in his 20s. I don't know where he had the money from. It doesn't matter. Maybe he made a big deal and he gave the 10%. I don't know. The fact is that he bought the camera 100%. The millions of views that are of these Torah classes online, he has the merit because he bought the camera. I told him once, I don't think you understand what's the mitzvah you did. How many thousands and tens of thousands of people enjoying the Torah classes because this person went and spent a few $1,000s, whether it was a big thing for him or not. Millions, including all the viewers now online, people watching it. I mean, now we have new equipment. Another smart person invested in the equipment. A group of people. Look at that. That's where our sages say, Adam koneh et olamo berega. You buy your entire olam haba like that, with a few dollars. So take the matters into your hands. There's a lot what to do. I urge you to join everything that we do. It's unbelievable. I see people, they have such satisfaction. They tell me, you can't believe it. People thank me. People this, people. It's amazing to be involved, to see people change, to go and affect people. It's unbelievable. It's a rush. You know, sometimes when I go on these tours to the US and to Europe, I sleep maybe half an hour at night. Sometimes I don't sleep. And I'm, full of energy. People tell me, how do you have energy? Where do you get the energy from? I tell them, after a lecture, I'm like on fire. After I sat in front of 300 people and, inspired them and taught them Torah and answered them, and I can't go to sleep. I'm all wired up. It pumps you up. It's unbelievable energy. So now you have the opportunity, not now, or every time, every day of the year, but now especially before Rosh Hashanah, so you have an opportunity to become a partner. So I highly recommend, go and order CDs. We'll ship you CDs. What's the big deal? Whatever you want. We'll give you a whole list of ways how to do outreach, and especially now, you can participate in the annual fundraiser that we're doing. Go to www.atzmut.org. It is atzmut.org/support. That's it. Pledge your donation. You'll be happy. You'll get a lot of credit in Shamayim. Bezrat Hashem should bless you to be successful in everything that you do. Have a good, sweet, happy New Year.